Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taryn Graham and you are on my channel Veggie Taryn. So now I'm going to show you my spring 2020 garden. I know I haven't been on YouTube in a while, but life happens and I've been at school and working. But during this time of being on quarantine with my family, I really delved into gardening and I really found a strong passion for gardening, and I'm so very appreciative of it. And my father and I actually started gardening last fall, I believe, and that was the first time I've ever gardened. And so we're still new to this, we're still learning, but as of right now, we're doing pretty well. We have 4 different beds, 3 of them are doing well, so I just want to show you them. Okay, so the first garden bed that I'm going to show you is my tomatoes. And we have about, I don't even know, like 10 or so, at least 10 of these tomato plants that are doing quite well. We didn't actually grow these plants from seed. We got these tomato plants from a friend of my father's, and we transplanted them into our own garden. So they're actually doing quite well. There's about 3 tomatoes on each plant. And sometimes it's kind of hard to locate the tomatoes because there's so much greenery on the plants. But if you take your time to search through the plant, you'll find that there's at least 2 or 3 tomatoes on each plant. Now, one of the tomato plants has been pollinated, but it hasn't produced a tomato yet, and that's this one. I'm not quite sure why, but I think over time, as the weather continues to warm up and it continues to get hot, it may produce a tomato. So I'll take you down here. In the midst of these tomato plants, we have some sweet potato slips. Now this is my first time planting sweet potatoes of any kind, so we're still learning, but I bought these sweet potato slips online, and they came in and I immediately transplanted them into the ground. And basically you just wait. I've been told about 6 months and some sweet potatoes will start to, well, the sweet potatoes will be ready to actually harvest in about 6 months, and we've only had them in the ground for about 4 weeks, so they're growing really well. And so there's about, I think there's 2 right here, and there's more in another bed that I'll show you later. Now this is a rosemary plant that we also, I believe we grew this from seed, I think. We have so many plants, but this is a rosemary plant and it smells amazing. We've already began to harvest it. Now the good thing about herbs is that you can harvest it slowly at a time. You don't have to completely harvest the entire rosemary plant and use it. You can slowly take off piece by piece, and it's very helpful and it smells so good. Okay, now we are going to show you the second bed that we planted, that we put plants in. So this bed, it doesn't look as well manicured as the other bed because we didn't put down enough weed blocker, which basically is what it sounds like. You put down this fabric that blocks the weeds from growing, and it keeps it from messing with your plant's growth. But we didn't put that down, so you know, you can see the weeds all throughout, but that's okay. We're still getting good growth. So mainly what we have in this bed here and right here in this middle section are turnip greens. And my parents and I love turnip greens. We love to eat greens, so that's why we planted a lot of these, and they're growing very well. We actually harvested a lot of turnip greens already, and we left some here because they hadn't grown fully yet, but now they're starting to grow back a lot, so we might harvest these in the next few weeks. And right here you can see we have some collard greens, which we also love. And there's another collard green in the midst of the turnip greens. So there's just a lot of things, a lot of greens in this bed because, as you can see, that's so important to us and we love them. And right there's a corn that's still growing. We planted that from seed, so it's still growing. It has some growing to do. We've had some cold weather these past few months, so that kind of it didn't stop the growth, but it kept the plants from growing as fast as they could. But now that it's warming up, it's going to start growing faster. And right there we have a watermelon that is also continuing to grow. That's the vine. So we're just hoping and praying that we get one watermelon. My father and I have been trying to grow a watermelon for years. No luck. So hopefully this year we get one watermelon. And next to the watermelon we have a cabbage plant. And that one is continuing to grow. And like I said, now that the weather is continuing to get hotter and warmer and more humid, we're hoping that the cabbage grows larger also. Okay, and this is our last bed. This is actually the first bed that we planted our vegetables in. So this huge plant in front of me is a tomato plant. Now this plant was actually grown from seed. We bought some organic tomato seeds from a nursery here in Memphis and planted them. And it has grown tremendously. However, we are waiting for it to produce more tomatoes on it. It has been pollinated, but I would say it has about 3 tomatoes down at the bottom, which is very well, but we are waiting for it to produce a little bit more. Now right here in this section, we had some spinach, dinosaur kale, and we have some arugula. The spinach and the dinosaur kale has been harvested. We harvested that yesterday, but I'll insert a picture to let you know what it looked like. And of course, this is our arugula. We harvested our arugula also maybe a few weeks ago, but as you can see, we kept the roots in the ground, and now it's flowering. And what we are going to do is we are going to let it go to seed, which means we're going to let it produce some more arugula seeds so that we can use that to plant for next spring season. And so that right there, I believe, we planted so many things. I believe that's a romaine lettuce plant from last season that is just starting to grow. And right here, you can see that's another tomato plant that is just starting to grow. So we hope we can get some more tomatoes. We had a Swiss chard right there that is also, that it was harvested yesterday. So I'll also insert a picture of that. And as you can see right here, this is what I love. If you ask me what's my favorite thing to grow, I would say it's broccoli. One, because it's so beautiful. Just looking at the broccoli is beautiful to me. And also because it's so easy to grow. It didn't have a lot of insects bothering it. And it grew so fast that my father and I were just kind of shocked, honestly. And now, we actually harvested the first broccoli that grew. And now we have about, I don't know, 6 more broccoli heads growing, which really shocked us. But hey, we love it. And I know it's hard to see this one, but behind the broccoli there is a kale, another kale plant. It's not dinosaur kale. I think it's green leaf kale, but that's growing. We actually had that left over from last season. I know it sounds crazy, but some things didn't grow in one season, and it's growing in the spring season, so that's how it is. And of course, you can see right here this huge corn plant. It's humongous, and that was planted from seed also. Most of this right here row is planted from seed, so we're hoping to get a lot of corn from that, and we're excited about it. And right here, now our label for this row is gone, but I think it's bell peppers. Right here, I think that's what it is, but we'll see eventually, right? And then right there, the last row is comprised of mostly watermelon plants. So like I said, my father and I are really trying our hardest to grow at least 1 watermelon. If that's all we get, we'll be so happy. So we planted a lot of watermelons throughout our garden beds. So, and now I want to show you the last plant that has really started to harvest, or that has really started to grow, is our zucchini plant. And that's green zucchini. It's absolutely beautiful. At first we were having a hard time keeping the insects off of the leaves, but my father and I started to use this herbal remedy that has helped to keep it that has helped to keep it has helped to keep bugs off of it, and now it's starting to grow even better. And I'll talk more about that later. But yeah, so this is our garden. As you can see, most of our plants are still in the growing stages. We've had some chilly weather, kind of unnormal chilly weather, so now that it's getting warmer, things are just starting to grow. They're just starting to get to the point where we can harvest them. We'll harvest these greens, and I think in a few weeks, and our tomatoes, I think, will also be harvested in a few weeks as well. So yes, that's our spring 2020 garden tour. We're still learning how to, grow things properly, but I'm really excited about what's to come for the garden. So yes, thank you for watching my video. This is Taryn Graham. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye.